Hello, everybody. I keep on forgetting how to undock my chat. Oops. Ba-bum. Let's just move you over here. Everyone's paranoid. I could really use an assistant here. Hey, all right. What's up? What's up, Aussie geocacher? See my shell. Yes, I'm live. Okay, so I'm coming in through YouTube. I ordered it through one of your links, so hopefully you get credit for that. I don't know if I'm on Facebook, but whatever. This whole live stream thing is very confusing. I did a bunch of tests last week with it, and I thought I got it working, but who knows? Who knows? So today for lunch, nice. I might have to have you give me some instructions on how to use it. I'm kind of figuring out how to use it. So today, what did I want to talk about? Well, I am a big horror movie nerd. Craig, are you a big horror movie nerd? Films for summer. And there are a lot of good horror movies coming out. So I figured I could talk about horror films while I'm continuing to work on this project that never seems to want to end. Ooh, is that it? No. I wanted to see new movies coming up. I watched the trailer for Candyman, the remake for Candyman, summer 2021 horror movies. I'm running a little bit late today, so. The Forever Purge. You're not into the ghost type. Oh, gore more than horror. Yeah, there's some really good gory ones out there. Speaking of gore, so Purge, the Forever Purge, which I think is like the fourth in the Purge series, is coming out this summer. Have I seen any of the Purge movies? I don't think so. I feel like I've seen one, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I'm not a big fan of like the huge violence horror movies. There's this one French film. It's called not High Anxiety, High Tension. They're okay, but not the best. I might give it a run just to say I've watched them all. But there's this one. It's a French horror film. If you like gore, Craig, and you haven't seen High Tension, you should check that one out. One thing that I've noticed about horror films, international horror films versus the domestic horror films, is there's like no filter over there. You got like the French, the German, the horror movies that come out of there are violent. But High Tension, that one just has etched itself into my brain. It is bloody, disturbing. I like more of the ghosty supernatural ones. I don't know why. And there's just something very eerie about them. Like, I love the Paranormal Activity movies. I know they're a little on the campy side, but I find them to be a lot of fun. But Forever Purge is coming out, and I think I'm just going to treat myself to a binge watch of the Purge series, so I can get up to date and be fresh-faced and sweet-voiced with the series, and then watch the Forever Purge, because it actually looks like an interesting premise. So from what I understand, the Purge movies are pretty much there's a future state of the country where there's no crime because once a year for a 12-hour period or 24-hour period, everything's legal. You can murder, you can loot, you can pillage, you can do whatever. You get your revenge. You just get it all out of your system in one fell swoop, and then call it good. I'm probably the last person who hasn't seen the Purge movies, so you probably think I'm just an idiot right now. But anyway, but what's interesting is this fourth sequel is about them carrying over the Purge and getting revenge on the rich folk who like to exploit this for their own entertainment. And I kind of like that. That's kind of like, kind of giving people their comeuppance. So get your revenge, however you want to. So that's coming out, and then so I'm going to check out that. Candyman is probably the one I'm most excited about. I am a huge Clive Barker fan. If you've watched the channel, I did my my Thief of Always Harvey Swick mask build last year or the year before last, which was a lot of fun. Love Clive Barker. I have a bunch of Clive Barker prints throughout the house. I actually just knocked one off the wall as I was moving my tripod down the stairs to the shop. Big Clive Barker fan. Candyman came out in the early 90s starring Tony Todd and Victoria Madsen. And that was just it is a eerie, atmospheric horror film. Another one that has some nice gore in it, Craig. Pretty much this guy gets his hand chopped off and a hook snapped onto it, and he becomes a spirit, and you say Candyman 5 times in the mirror, and he's supposed to appear behind you and take you to the land of candy. Or not. The original is fantastic. Tony Todd is just he's great in the role of Candyman. It takes place in the projects of Chicago, and it's very different from the story by Clive Barker. The story is in his Books of Blood, and I believe it's called The Forbidden. And if you read the book The Forbidden, or the short story The Forbidden, it has nothing to do with the movie that we saw in the early 90s. Although the atmosphere is there, it's the graffiti and the stories that the graffiti tells. Anyway, looking forward to this remake. I'm always circumspect of remakes, but I believe Jordan Peele's behind this one, and he's been knocking out of the park with his other horror films, and so I have high hopes for this one. Okay, so we are working today on box 11 and 12, and I'm actually recording on multi-cameras again so I can edit this into an episode someday. So box 11 and 12 are issues 41 through 48. And I feel like at this point, this is what we're doing today. And again, I keep on saying this is not going to be the Star Wars channel, but I have so many friggin' Star Wars projects on my bench, and I need to make room for other things that I just need to kind of batten down the hatches and take advantage of this one. And the thing that stinks about this, I think I mentioned this last week when I was working on it, is there's shipping issues now with this kit. So the way the kit works is you subscribe to it, and every month you get 4 packages of parts, and it gives you just enough to build a certain portion or a part of it. Someday, a portion of the model. So far, I've received up to box 15. I'm working on box 11 now. And what that has given me to this point is the bottom frame of the ship. Last week we installed the cargo ramp, or the entry ramp. And so now I have all these little greeblies and things that I'm going to be working on. This is kind of fun. Ooh, we're building the turret for the gun port, or the control platform for the gunner turret. So that's going to be cool. But anyway, so there's a pause in production. I don't know what's going on. I can't get any real feedback from the folks over at Model Space and DeAgostini. So I hope I don't end up with half of a model, because that is a very expensive half of a model, and God knows what I can do with that. So anyway, so today we're working on issue 41, which coincidentally requires you to use the parts from issue 40, which is what we did last week. And there it is. There it is. So let's move this aside. Yes, I have hope that someday my desk will be clean and I can move on to other fun things. I mean, like I said, I can't move the camera right now, but just to the right of me, I have my Scout Trooper build. There we go. How do I look? I feel like a space ball right now. I have, oh, it's a little tight. Ow. I need to sand that all down. I have my TIE Fighter that I'm working on. I really need to finish this because I've had this for like almost 2 years now, and I just need to get rid of it. We'll just complete it. And then I have a studio scale X-Wing in a bunch of pieces over here. Spaceballs is an amazing movie. And there was always talk of doing a sequel, even as close as just a few years ago. And I think it would be nice to see a continuation of that story, even though a lot of the folks that were part of the original are no longer with us. But yeah, that's a great movie. That's a great movie. It's a good gateway drug into the seriousness of the Star Wars universe. What else do I have going on? Oh, and then, so for my 40th birthday, I got a half studio scale Tantive 4 from Star Wars. And I really want to start putting that together. So I told myself I need to get some of this other stuff done first before we do that. Okay, so this whole thing right now is kind of like the whole purpose of the live stream. Space Baller, yes. These live streams, because at this point, as I'm putting these together, I talk to myself constantly. And so I figured I'd just talk to you all who are watching, or Craig, who my dedicated live stream fan. If you have not checked out my friend Craig, he is the Aussie geocacher, See My Shell, on YouTube. If you're into geocaching, it's fascinating. He has some great videos out there talking about geocaching, going on his geocaching adventures. I highly recommend you go subscribe to his channel and check him out and get into the hobby. It's actually, I was trying to explain this to my wife the other day, and she seemed pretty interested in it. Plus, it's also a great way to get out of the house and see things, which I liked. So maybe this summer, Craig, with your guidance, I will take the fam out on some geocaching adventures. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. All right, so where's my stuff? So other horror movies that are coming out. So I did have a list, and but I have since lost that list. But there was another one that came out that looked really interesting. Let me see. Where's my other phone? There we go. Summer horror movies. It's great family fun. The kids love it. Yeah, it really does. It really does look it. So, oh, Ghostbusters Aftermath. Yes, that is coming out as well. I cannot wait to see that one. Like friggin' pandemic. This was supposed to come out last year, and then the pandemic happened, and really threw a wrench into our summer movie theater entertainment. That's the only thing the pandemic did, was ruin our summer entertainment. I'm being facetious. I know someone's going to leave me a comment saying how insensitive I am right now. But yes, Ghostbusters is coming out, and I think that's later in the summer. There was another one, Spiral. So we have a ninth? Is that right? A ninth Saw movie? That can't be right. Those movies are actually a lot of fun. My wife went out of town a couple of years back for work, and I binged the entire Saw series, and at that time I think it was 7. And again, you want to talk about gore, that's some fun, good old-fashioned gore right there. But also mystery and entertainment, and they're just fun, good fun movies. And they're not even like campy. Like later on they get a little campy, and you kind of have to go into campy territory once you cross like the 6th sequel in your series. I mean, look at the Hellraiser series. Those started taking a nasty turn after Inferno, maybe, which was 5. I think Inferno was the last good one. No offense, Ashley Lawrence and Doug Bradley. Okay, The Night House. This is one that sounded interesting. Craig, escape rooms for sadists. Yeah, speaking of escape rooms, before I jump into The Night House, the sequel to Escape Room is coming out. It's something like Escape Room, the Tournament of Champions, or something crazy like that. That looks fun. The first Escape Room was kind of interesting too. And that was like another one of those main, you kind of have your categories of horror movies. You have your indie horror films that aren't really picked up for broad distribution but end up on Shudder or Amazon or deep within the Netflix network. I find those are always like the really good ones because they're not confined to matrixed organizations that think they know better than the director and the writer and the producers know. Those are always fun. There's some really good indie horror out there. I mean, look at Babadook, for example. I mean, that's kind of an indie film, and even though it's not like your traditional horror one, that was that was fantastic. It was a thriller. It was uncomfortable. It was a great lore and mythology. Hi, Tony. How are you? I know. I'm shaking it up a bit. I'm doing a horror / Star Wars show. Speaking of Star Wars and horror, so I remember, and you all might remember this too. So back in the day, my grandmother had like the old-fashioned satellite, the gigantic, like 12-foot wide, and you had to enter in coordinates, and the satellite in the backyard would move, and you felt like you were in war games. But with that, every month came this. Oh, you're camping? All right. Well, spend those 45 seconds with me. So they came with this gigantic, thick phone book style like TV guide because you literally had thousands of channels. And I remember growing up when you were looking for the categories for movies, Star Wars was under horror, not sci-fi or anything like that. It was always under horror, and I always wondered why. I'm going to see if I can have to. Not that I care enough to go onto eBay and find an old catalog to validate this, but that sticks out in my head that they classified Star Wars as horror. I will check my texts. My phone is currently recording, so I'll check them in a little bit. But enjoy your camping adventure. Watch out for bears. Don't feed the bears. And don't throw Snickers bars at them. Oh, Craig, my friend Tony here was Oscar in The Odd Couple when we did that 20 plus years ago. And I actually have a good picture of him and I that's proudly hung in my den. It's a caricature of us as Felix and Oscar. I'll send you a copy of that. Where was I? Star Wars, horror movie. Oh, horror. Oh, yeah. So anyway, Escape Room. Yes, Escape Room was fun. This one sounded interesting. Okay, it's called The Night House. And the description is, a young widow spends her time mourning her husband inside the special house he built her. Already, that could be very interesting. However, ghostly dreams start to haunt her at night, and she believes it's him. Ooh. As she goes through his stuff to find answers, she discovers some hidden secrets that were better left dead. Release date, July 16th. Yeah, so like those kind of eerie, creepy type of horror movies. Mickey, it is live. Hey, Mickey. Oh, thanks, Craig. Playing Felix was a lot of fun. That was a good time. I would do that show again in a heartbeat. That's a lot of fun. The reverse psychology worked well. Well, good. So now you're watching my live stream. I appreciate that. Although I'm working on the Millennium Falcon right now. I'm going through the horror movies that I'm excited about for this summer, because I am a silly horror nerd. You want to know why I'm a horror nerd? Okay, this is sharing time. When I was... So Nightmare on Elm Street came out in... Okay, look. I'm looking. Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 1984, I believe. I was 3. My parents, for one reason or another, or my father and stepmother, for one reason or another, wanted to go see it. They couldn't get a babysitter, so they thought it would be cool to bring me. I mean, I was 3. What would I know? I would sleep through the whole thing. I did not sleep through the whole thing. In fact, the image of Nancy being, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street within the past 36 years, as they're pulling, as Nancy's dead, bloodied body is being dragged down the hallway of the high school in a see-through body bag, that is forever burnt into my brain, and it tweaked me out. And my stepmother took me out of the theater and took me to go see the Flamingo Kid. I remember this like I was 3 years old. I was like 3.5 years old. I remember all this stuff clearly. And then I remember having the nightmares. So I had a nightlight, and it was a Daffy Duck nightlight, and it was like a bluish type of light. And I remember Daffy Duck coming to life and coming to get me with Freddy's claw. Anyway, completely screwed me up. But it made me a lifelong fan of the horror genre, which led me down a beautiful path of getting interested in Stephen King, and I thank my Nana Billy for that. She was a huge Stephen King fan who got me into him. But yeah, horror is just a fantastic genre. I love, it's like watching a roller coaster ride. You know that feeling when you're going up the incline, and you're starting to develop the anxiety of what's coming next. When's it going to happen? Oh my God, the car has stopped. What's going on? And then you crest the top, and then you go down as fast as you can, and it's like, oh my God! That's like watching a horror movie, a good horror movie. There are some bad horror movies out there too. Maybe I'll do a show on the bad horror movies out there. Although they can be somewhat good. I am watching Z Nation on someone's recommendation. I forget who it was, which is done by The Asylum. And if any of you are familiar with The Asylum's work, Sharknado, I find it hard to take them seriously. But this show so far, I'm only 2 episodes in. This show so far is actually not that bad. I'm kind of ODing on zombies at the moment. I'm playing Last of Us Part 2 right now as well, and that's, if you've played that, that's a zombie game. You need to watch Cruel Summer. I will add it to the list. Okay. Yes, I love well done horror, but almost just as much as I love badly done horror. Like that, there's a uniqueness, I guess, to, my wife and I call them the NYU movies, which are just those super low budget, often found footage types of films, because that's all you can really afford from a equipment and a story perspective. But even some of those are really good. I will definitely check out Cruel Summer. Mickey, what kind of horror movies are you into, or do you even watch horror movies? I know you're into the fantasy genre. I know you watched Witcher, but I don't remember if you liked it or not. I have not played or watched it yet. These parts are so tiny, by the way. Oh, there we go. Am I still recording? All right. So I don't know if I was supposed to trim all these out, but I did, so oops. All right, so we're assembling the control platform. And there are so many tiny little pieces in here, but it looks like I'm building right now the control platform like it says I'm supposed to be doing. Witcher was fantastic. Oh, okay, cool. I will then check it out. Do I need to play the game first to appreciate it and get it, or can I just dive right in? Oh, so you're like all in on The Witcher. Okay. Oh yeah, Craig. When I'm doing one of these kits, and I don't know if you've seen the previous episodes of my pure builds of this, they can be 3 hours long, and I cut it down to 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So that's why I'm talking to you all to kind of pass the time. And for anybody, last week I actually had someone hop on who is working on this project, and that was kind of cool to chat with them about their journey. Craig, do you play anything on like the PlayStation or anything like that? And Mickey, have you played Last of Us? Or Last of Us 2? The series is based on the books, not the game. They're a bit different. Oh, okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll give that a go because I need a quality show. Oh God, games are like my therapy. So I have a routine. My routine is, pre-summer. The kids are home now, but pre-summer, I will, after the kids leave. So my wife's a teacher, so they're out the door by 6:30 a.m. I'll grab my coffee. I'll go in the living room and I play 30 minutes of whatever game it is I'm currently playing, which is right now Last of Us Part 2. Then I'll go work out so I can eat bad for about half hour to an hour, and that ranges from Peloton to weights or the rowing machine. And then I shower and get ready for work. So by like 8:30, 8:45, I'm in front of my computer, seizing the days. If you know where I work, you know what that means. But that's like my routine. That's like my time. So like the video game kind of, it gets my creative juices flowing. It gets my kind of logical thinking going a little bit, because games are not mindless things. As much as my wife wants to convince me that video games will rot my brain, there is a lot of thinking involved with them, and a lot of strategizing, and a lot of logic that goes into playing them, so you're making the right decision. So I started Last of Us, got stuck, and I can't get past it. I keep going back to try and get past it. It's just frustrating, so I keep shelving it. Oh, that's too bad. I actually played that game twice. And maybe when I see you tomorrow, we can talk about where you're stuck at. I think it's, even still, and I've played games since, it's probably one of my favorite games. Story-wise, I think it is a beautiful, beautiful story. They did a great job with the first one, and the second one is first of all, I mean, it's light years advanced from a quality perspective. The visualizations are great. The story is different, but similar. And the sequels. I'm about 10 hours, 11 hours into the game. It's a long game. I'm only on chapter. They don't do a good job of illustrating the chapters, but I think I'm on chapter 3 or 4, and I'm 11 hours in, and I think there's like 7 more chapters. So. This is one of those games where you're in for the long haul. But if you like story-driven games, Last of Us is a really good game, and the sequel. Excuse me. Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, Pillars of Eternity. Currently playing Fallen Order. Nice. I tend to, and Mickey, let me know if you're the same way. I tend to play one game at a time and then just get through the whole thing. It's like reading books. 280 hours into The Witcher 3? Holy cow, that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, I guess I won't complain about 10 hours. That's amazing. 280 hours. But I mean, also just from like an economics perspective, the cost of having 280 hours of entertainment is what? $60? Where else can you get 280 hours of entertainment for $60? Nowhere. So thank you, Sony and Microsoft. All right. Where are my files? There are my files. That was over a year. No, yeah, of course. There are some people that will do that within a month, which is a little excessive. They clearly do not have children, or a YouTube channel that they're trying to take off. Yeah, I knew a person who was hardcore into, I forget the game, but you hear about this stuff all the time where like it takes people's lives over. What was the game? Not Minecraft. It was a similar game to like Minecraft though. Excuse me. My wife gets a lifetime energy. Oh, that is true. That is very true. And I guess you do now through marriage. All right, so this piece, I wonder if I can, oh, fantastic. Actually, I'm going to, hold please. 14, awesome. I'm doing so I'm renovating my bathroom right now. And how do I put this back? Oh. And Home Depot accidentally delivered the wrong sheetrock on top of my correct order. And so I tried to get them to come and take it back. And they wouldn't. So good for me, right? Oh. All right. I also got this new gimbal that I'm trying to figure out how to use. I got mine Goatee Editing for $25. What's Goatee Editing? That sounds interesting. Is this thing off? Is this thing on? Okay. Oh, anyway, where I was going with this. Okay, I'll just tinker with this later. So I have all this drywall, plus I have the scraps from the drywall that I already put up, and so I put it on Facebook Marketplace just for people to take it for free. You would think that getting rid of drywall for free would be very easy, and I did get a lot of asks about it, but not a single person could come and pick it up. So finally this person just texted me saying he can do it right now. So I'm very excited to get all of this sheetrock out of my center hall. So we might end this a little bit early. Typo Game of the Year edition. Oh, Game of the Year edition. Oh yeah, see, I think I just failed my nerd exam by not saying Game of the Year edition. And boop. And video. Okay. So we're going to go put this back right here. Yeah, I got the gimbal to A, replace this, and B, I'm on the road a lot for my day job, and I'm going to be filming while I'm on the road, and so the gimbal is going to be super helpful for that. So, and okay, let's get back to recording. But yeah, Craig, when I put this all together, like my audio is removed and replaced with voiceover. So yeah, it's all going to be different. I'll call it Geocache of the Year. Yes, Geocache. Oh, you need to always turn off the gimbal before putting the phone in. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mickey. Another thing I used to do with my pal Tony, who was Oscar in The Odd Couple, is we had a Blues Brothers show. And if you go over to the Anthony Pizzuto YouTube page, you'll see clips of that. And we had a band. It was a 10-piece band. He and I were the front men. He was Jake. I was Elwood, even though I sang lead and he sang backup. And this is the outside of the hat and the glasses and the handcuffs over there. This was one of the microphone stands from the Blues Brothers show, and now I use it as a boom for my for filming this stuff. Oh yeah, the gimbal. I got this as a recommendation through the Aussie Geocachers YouTube page. It's a Osmo Mobile 3. It is very fancy. I just need to spend some time on YouTube figuring out specifically how to use it. Like now I know, thank you, Craig, that you have to turn it off every time you dismount yeah, and there's like a particular way to put it in there too. Yeah. Well, we'll play with that later. Am I recording this now? And I'm right here. Okay, fantastic. And then this piece, I'm going to be very bummed out if they stop production of this kit and I end up with a half a kit. I mean, how annoying is that? It's very annoying. This is where we get the really tiny pieces. So glue the seat back to the rear. So this goes here. When I was in Galaxy's Edge a couple weeks ago, and Mickey, you probably know this. Yes, please do, please do. I was a little disappointed in the Millennium Falcon ride as the gunner, where you didn't get to sit in the actual turret, the turret seat. I was hoping that I could be reliving my inner Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, and I didn't. It's okay. It's okay. How does this get in? There we go. Okay. These pieces are so tiny. That's why these like micro tweezers are super helpful. Oh, and then the last thing on the horror thing before we wrap up. I heard a rumor, and I think it's been confirmed by bloodydisgusting.com, that the Hellraiser series is going to be developed for HBO Max. That's going to be pretty cool. And I believe Clive Barker, the master himself, is part of that, which is even better. Because, I mean, he's the maker, so he should be part of that, right? Uh-oh, I'm missing a part. I've lost a part. That's what happens. All these tiny little pieces. Well, crap. But no, it's great. I have a 3D printer. It's a bit of button mashing. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm not going to subject you all to this. Crap. I hate when that happens. And they don't give you extras, which is really annoying. You would think that when you have parts this tiny, see, you can't even see that, they would give you at least one more. That they didn't. And I have a gray concrete floor here too, so that's not going to help. Ah, well. All right. Oh. Well, aren't you just clever? Yes, I will rewatch this live stream and see where it actually fell off. And that, shit. Oops. Found it. It was right here. Okay. All right. But look how, you can't even see how tiny that is. It's like a tenth of a toothpick. A tenth of a toothpick. But this is this scale on this, my friend Alex will know better, but I think, is this a 1/24th scale? It might be a 1/24th scale. It might be. It's a almost studio scale replica of the Empire Strikes Back Millennium Falcon. There we go. So we got that piece in, and then we have to put this piece in. It's going to be fun painting these guys. Dude, this is my version of hell. Yeah, you know, it was a great idea when I signed up, but then as I started going through, well, this is issue 41. I didn't realize how rough this was really going to be. Like, yeah, I need to get better light over here. Like this. Actually, I'm going to get up and give you a close-up. So this is what I'm working on. So that is the gunner chair in the turret of the Millennium Falcon. And that, this steering wheel piece right here was what was missing. So if it wasn't literally right in front of me, if it had fallen on the floor, it would have been gone forever. I would never have found that thing. Ow. But again, it's a little bit therapy. It's a little, you know, it's something fun to work on. You know, I've been working on this. I haven't been doing it in real time. So like the next episode of this that I actually upload, that's not a live stream, I believe will be, it might be box 8. So that was a while ago. So I'm way behind on all of this. So what you're watching live streamed is actually real time. What gets uploaded to the channel in a full episode is not in real time. God, these are so tiny. I mean, Mickey, you've kind of done stuff like this with your D&D miniatures. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to finish this and then we're calling it good. Glue the pivot in front of the targeting computer, and the pivot is this. It is. Ow. These are like little razor blades. Okay. And then the details in here are pretty wild, though. I will say, like all these tiny little things. I hope that was the right thing. And then glue a pedal. Okay. Oh, okay. These are the pedals. I'm not even going to bother. Boy. I need to get some more. Boop. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Not that small. Are you still doing miniatures for your D&Ds? Your D&Ds. Like, I don't even know what to call them. D&Ds, does that sound right? My pal Mickey here. And Mickey, what's your YouTube channel again? Is it just Sir Mickey Flint or Two Gentlemen of Fortune? But my friend Mickey here, go ahead and is a insanely talented leather crafter. He makes really beautiful leather goods from from bags to these awesome cases. He made some cool Star Wars themed briefcases. And he's also a very talented miniature painter. And he also streams. He's a dungeon master. And he streams sometimes his events. You should check them out. Sir Mickey Flint. Ah, okay, got it. And then we got this pedal. Oh my God, so tiny. Like this piece right here is, I can barely hold it with my fingernails. That's how tiny it is. There are so many "that's what she said" jokes when working on this model. Don't breathe. Oh, did you guys see The Quiet Place? Speaking of, in the vein of summer horror, that was really good. The first one was really good. John Krasinski and his wife there, Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt? Yeah, Emily Blunt. Okay. I think. Wait, am I missing? Did I not attach something? Oh, I did not attach something. Okay. Oh, this. Okay. Oh, nice. And I have the deck. I'll play Sabacc with you. Daria and the kids will be out tomorrow, I think, by the time you get here. Let me know what time you're getting here. Shoot me a text. But yeah, I'm totally down for some Sabacc. Because I've been playing solitaire Sabacc, which, as you can imagine, is not very fun. What's going on here? Oh, these stick in here. There we go. Okay. So tiny. That's what she said. Okay. And then the last piece is the rotating base to the round hole, which I guess is this. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is where I'm going to stop. So, Craig, to your point, the editing, this took me, I mean, we've been talking through the whole thing, but this took me almost an hour to do. This is just one step in this issue. The whole issue will probably take me 2.5 hours. But I will then cut that all down, do a voiceover, and this whole episode, or this whole segment, will be a minute and a half, or something like that. So, as you know, you are a celebrity YouTuber, so you've been doing this longer and better, I may say, than I have. So, all right. Well, I'm done talking about horror movies, and I'm done talking or building this Millennium Falcon for the day. It is beautiful out here in New Jersey. It's about 80-something degrees, so I'm going to go outside and enjoy some of that with the family. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me on the live stream and chatting with me today. And if you're watching this at a later date, you should watch the chat as well, because there was some good conversation here. At any rate, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that little alert button so you can be notified when I go live again. I do a live stream every Friday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time. And then I upload a full episode of whatever it is I'm working on every 15th and 30th of the month. I know, that's very strange, right? But that's what I could commit to, because I do these big projects and it takes a lot of time to build them, and it takes a lot of time to edit them down together. So I figured the 15th and the 30th is a good cadence. My last episode was about building my wife's dresser, so make sure you check that out, just to get a taste of the types of stuff that I'm doing over here. All right, Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. And until next time, stop planning and start making something. Thanks, everybody.